Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, April 28th, 1 a.m. Mountain Time 2019. You're looking at the most recent GFS model, just showing heavy snow moving into the upper Midwest into May. Now let's run it through real quick. We're going to see heavy snow and blizzard conditions through northern Montana into North Dakota over the next 24 hours, and then hours of powers as a system moves through. Already snow falling in the upper Midwest down here in southern Michigan. Take a look at the totals in Nebraska, and then as we move through the model, there's going to be some snow in central Canada. Oh my goodness. Not looking good for planting. Maybe Iowa, but they're under flooding threat. Stay with us. You've entered the effing awesome classroom. Late planting. Don't hit the panic button yet. But maybe we should. This is coming out yesterday. Nerves are at a high as farmers near the close of the optimal planting window, May 20th on average. With more rain in the forecast, you might be wondering how long it will take to catch up, or if you can. Can you do it? Countdown begins as snow continues. Late winter storm delays planting season. This coming out 2 days ago. For the second year in a row, a late winter storm in mid-April has pushed back the initiation of spring field work in the upper Midwest. Normally, by the third week of April, Midwest farmers have either begun field work or are within days of the beginning of the planting season. However, in 2019, just as last year, a major April storm with high amounts of snowfall, freezing rain, and high precipitation in Minnesota and surrounding states. Yeah, now with more rainfall likely, it appears that it could be May 1st or later before full-scale planting begins. Optimum corn yields on any given year are based on when they get in the ground. And when are they getting in the ground? No time soon. Let's check out what's going on here. Flooded farms struggle with spring planting, and there are big pieces of equipment, and people are pissed, and flooding is ongoing, and it's not over. Do it, Dad.
About 5.5 foot of water. You can see the line on the bins over there.
Kevin Cruz farms 1,000 acres in Purcellville, Iowa, straddling Interstate 29 and the Missouri River. His land flooded this year, much like in 2011, when the waterway's corridor was ravaged to the tune of $2 billion. A bit less than damage estimates this time around. But Cruz says 8 years ago, landowners had 10 days' notice devastation was on its way, as opposed to this year's bomb cyclone blitzkrieg and its aftermath.
We got it in the basement pretty good, about 5 feet in the house. We almost had the basement cleaned out. We had one more day, and the water came back. Another 2 feet of water again. What do you do?
Cruz's corn and soybeans were already in the ground when flooding hit in 2011 and fully reimbursed through crop insurance. This year, he might be lucky to get anything planted at all.
Right around $150,000 I got sitting there.
Cruz has 25,000 bushels of previously harvested crop on hand, but says others held on to 8 times as much, and like him, can't access and salvage remaining bins. Low prices, oversaturated commodity markets, and trade disruptions have all helped lead to record on-farm storage in recent years. But those surpluses aren't eligible for current federal aid.
Right now, Iowa needs disaster assistance.
Holla! Yeah, Iowa needs disaster assistance, and this is days ago. And it's ongoing, so we're going to be reporting on this, and that's why you're watching the channel, so that you can be updated. Still snowing in the heart of America. The longer winter and shorter summer cycle is coming, and Armstrong Economics is well aware of it. They've been predicting this alongside of us for over a decade. You are here. Here's the modern Eddy minimum. Cycles are everywhere, folks. The cycles continue. No matter what they try to dupe you into, the mainstream, the lamestream. We're telling you the truth. The facts are in. Centennial minimum ended, modern Eddy minimum began, and this is a 400-year cycle, similar to the Maunder minimum, leading to the Dark Ages in Europe and other horrible events like the plague. Late April snow is hitting the upper Midwest with 15 million people under storm alerts. Albert Lee, Dodgeville, Waterloo through Chi-Town. Heads up. Some northern states are bidding farewell to April with a blast of snow. More than 15 million people from South Dakota to Michigan were under winter storm warnings or advisories Saturday morning, which is Saturday in Pagosa. The National Weather Service said with heavy snow and strong winds expected to bring hazardous travel conditions into parts of those states. The fast-moving system could drop 2 to 8 inches of snow across the region by Sunday, which will be a fun day if you're a sledder in late spring. Ting, ting! And that's tonight's first boom. Snow in Chi-Town this close to May is unusual, but we're getting numb to the abnormal weather. Thanks, Al! Get your hole! Can you believe it? AI is among us, and they're watching you. Yes, it's snowing in Chi-Town and other parts of the Midwest. It's April 27th, a mere 4 days until May. Yes, people are heading to Twitter and social media to freak them out. And finally, yes, we forget our shock as soon as the next extreme weather event happens. Global warming much? Not! Shut up, Al! Get your hole! No bunt cake! Saturday's late April snowstorm in Chi-Town stands out now, but in the long run, it'll blend into the February heat waves, torrential flooding, and other once remarkable but now not so noticeable weather we experience as the grand solar minimum ensues. It's not because of the Jews. Winter weather advisory for parts of the southeast Wisconsin. Heads up Seneca, Rockford, Milwaukee, Whitewater, Janesville, Lake Geneva, Kenosha. Say it ain't Sosha. Wheeling. You're not out of it. Winter storm warning has been converted to a winter weather advisory for areas of southeast Wisconsin. Jefferson, Winnetka, Milwaukee can expect between 2 to 4 inches rather than the original 4 to 6. Whew. Thank God. A winter storm warning is headed our way for this Saturday. This morning is quiet and cool with temperatures in the 40s, which are for shorties. But that is not going to be very sporty as it heavy weekend snow update 1 inch per hour in parts of Michigan. Heads up Jackson, Kalamazoo, hoo-hoo. 4 to 5 inches falling right now. The National Weather Service has updated its forecast for Saturday night's rain and snow headed to parts of Michigan, which is now, with one section of the lower peninsula slated to get 3 to 5 inches of dense, heavy snow. Yes, the Sierra cement falling on that sock puppet. Snowfall rates could top 1 inch an hour in some spots. Here's what we know heading into Saturday night. Areas close to I-94 like Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, stretching east towards Jackson will see the highest snowfall with 3 to 5 inches, according to the National Weather Service. Heavy snow falling 1 inch an hour could occur between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. right now while I'm bloviating. And precipitation may start out as rain before changing to snow. Ho, ho, ho. It's not going to be a Santa day for you. Heavy slush could accumulate on roads, leave extra travel time. Travel is expected to become more difficult in areas after sunset. Holy man, I need an aspirin. Boom! Whew. Isn't it like almost summer? Spring snow visits parts of northeastern U.S. amid weekend chill. The second half of the weekend will bring more snow to parts of the northeast. Fresh chill has plunged the northeast behind a storm that soaked the region with rain and severe thunderstorms to end the week. Residents across central New York and neighboring parts of Pennsylvania also saw the return of snow on Saturday. Which they do not have a Saturday because it's PA. Look at that. Late April snow whitened some communities in western New York today. With more snow on the way, some people are wondering if the calendar is really on the verge of flipping to May. Hey, 3 to 6, there's your swath. Through the morning, it's possibly wet snow or at least wet snow mixing with rain during Saturday. Through your Saturday in PA and western New York State, according to AccuWeather senior meteorologist Brian Wimmer, who's not related to David Schwimmer. I love Friends. Wet snow or rain and wet snow may mix and shift eastward across central New York State and the high ground in central northeast PA on Sunday. And that will not be their fun day unless they're sledding. Back to school, kids. You can do it. Do adapt. Snow may spread over the mountains of central New England later Sunday, which will be their fun day because they're still skiing up there. There's potential for the snow to come down quick enough for a coating of an inch or two to accumulate. And that's their fate. Winter's getting along quite late. There's your forecast. Look at the snow piling up in northern Colorado. That's 4 feet of snow up in the Steamboat region and up north. Heads up. Sierras are going to be picking up on it as well. Blizzard warnings issued for most of northern Montana as well as North Dakota. Heavy freeze warnings in central Iowa. I hope they didn't plant shit yet. Oh, take a look over here in eastern Nebraska. Frost and freeze warnings all the way through the mitt of Michigan. Are you picking it up? Flooding. Yeah, in eastern Utah and western Colorado. That's the snowmelt bringing up those rivers to epic whitewater seasons, which will extend through July. Wet spring causing delays for Prince Edward Island farmers. And that's not all. Farmers all across America, including Iowa. A wet spring has caused delays for Prince Edward Island farmers getting their fields ready for the season. Robert Godfrey, Executive Director of PEI Federation Agriculture, said the ground has to dry up before farmers can begin plowing. Yeah, so they don't get stuck. Like Chuck, frustration builds as Ottawa River expected to rise this weekend. A member of the Canadian Forces helps unload sandbags Friday in Ottawa. Frustrations are mounting in Ottawa area as fatigued residents dig in for another day of warding off rising river levels. Heavy rainfall warning for the Ottawa got-to-know area ended late last night, but as of Saturday morning, officials are warning many homes along the Ottawa River are still at risk. It's getting brisk. We are going to have runoff and melt through June. In our region, at least. Looks like the beast from the east is melting from the divide. Winter's coming early to Australia. Antarctic blast set to engulf the country. Heads up, Cap Alon. Australians are on course for an early taste of winter, with temperatures in some regions set to drop 16 C in just 12 hours. Hours of power. Snow is even forecast for Tasmania, along with the far southeast. In fact, snow has not stopped in the southern hemisphere at all in this region continuously for 1 year. Heads up. Torrential rains and monster hail destroy 55,000 acres of crops across Telangana in India. That is flat and it looks like sorghum. Torrential rains and cricket ball-sized hail have taken out more than 55,000 acres of crops across Telangana state in southern India. The paddy and mango crops were the worst affected, government officials said April 22nd, adding that the damage will likely increase with more storms expected in the coming spring days. Days of haze and lays and schmays. As volcanoes are up, we're about to check out the totals over on Greenland. They are unprecedented. Let's just jump there. Holy macaroni. We don't even need to see that stuff. We're over here at the Polar Portal. I'll leave you links below. Monitoring ice and climate change in the Arctic. And we're about to see the Greenland total ice mass budget. Look at it building here on the eastern coast. Not only that, the mass gains are record-breaking, yet the mainstream media is reporting on Greenland as being, well, let's just say melting. So this is multi-decadal averages going back to 1981, and you can see here we're above the mean by gigatons. Right now, Greenland is building at 3 gigatons per day. This is 3 gigatons per day building, and it's been building above the mean for 6 weeks. And yet articles are coming out in the mainstream that Greenland is melting beyond belief. And it is in fact building at record levels beyond belief over the next 6 weeks. Magnitude 3.4 quake shakes the Bay Area. It's boom time, kids. Bay boom time near Concord. People are sharding their pants and taking names in the bay because when it happens, they'll be stuck like Chuck. Seismic update 4.9 in the Philippines kicking off just 1 second ago. Uptick in moderate quakes worldwide. Heavy activity up here into China. Yeah, China 5.1, 7.9 southwest of Lajujumama. We got some activity on the west coast of the U.S. 3.2 in Cobb. Interesting interior activity here in Clifton. 3.6 in Arizona. Say it ain't Sona. Greenland Sea 4.2. Who would have knew? And down here near New Zealand 5.0 in Optiki. Are you getting tweaky? Yeah, the big one's coming, New Zealand. Heads up, it's going to be a lot of losses. Get out of Dodge. 5.0 in Tunisia. And this happening, oh yes, in Japan. 5.4. El Gorzahor. Now, bear with me. Earth is changing. South American uptick. Nevado de Ruiz shoots ash to 27,000 feet. It's true. Reventador to 20,000. That's 5 miles and 6 miles respectively. Or however you want to look at it. Volcanic activity has been strongly correlated with solar activity. As cosmic rays increase the muon heating in the subsurface, so does the siliceous rich magma in these boom booms. Yes. It's almost like brain food. And it's like and there's like information going in and you're trying to assimilate it. Do it now. Central Colombia's Nevados de Ruiz is well and truly awake. Vete la chingada, cabrón. After a long period of inactivity, the deadly stratovolcano stirred on the 16th de Abril. And this is boom time. Boom time, I say. I say it. Worldwide volcano news update. Fuego, Shivalush, Ducono, Reventador, Sabancaya. Shivalush blowing to 15,000 feet today. Fuego to 15,000. Ducono to 5. Normal activity. Sabancaya, normal. Reventador, boom booms. Nothing spectacular, kids. Shivalush to 17,000 just 24 hours ago. If you want to know more, look below at the links. Forecast for upcoming solar cycle released. No thanks. The latest forecast for the upcoming solar cycle 25 has been released. Like a beast, and it hints at a weaker than average level of magnetic activity from our sun, which will not be fun. Continued record snow, epic flooding worldwide. Solar cycles are fluctuations in the solar magnetic activity. Hey, have you heard our magnetosphere is waning? It's even shutting down. Could be a polar flip. Yes. A magnetic field reversal of the Earth. You know what that means? Look up Doug Vogt, kids. Typically running for 11 years, these cycles, well, no one knows what's going on. Anyone's best guess. But if you follow the work of Zarkova, Diamond, Adapt 2030, and others, and you're coming to LeCon, you'll probably be one of the most informed in the world. Some good news for far future sea level rise. New model finds processes that could help slow losses at glaciers. Yeah, we could just coat them in plastic and install refrigerators. Fatal falls at the Grand Canyon. We're talking sheep here. By the dozens. The national park has nearly 6.5 million visitors a year, and most recently, sheep have been falling off the rim like nobody's business. Yeah. You want to check out the falls? There have been 3 falling deaths within the canyon so far this year. Boom, boom, and boom. And yet, the sheep continue to flock there. Overall, the most frequent falls are near Mojave Point, Mather Point, and Yaqui Point. Look at how many idiots have fallen off the rim. Chin Chim. It's almost embarrassing. Selfie much? Let me just move it. Oh! God, that's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. Hurt like Kurt. Hey, check this out. That looks awesome. I can hear a shaky voice like it was yesterday. You need to get your taters in the ground tomorrow because the signs is right. The signs is right. And it looks like she might be pregnant. Holy macaroni. Look at these cabbages. Would you just look at this kraut? Holy shout. Do you even know how to do this? Everyone did back in 1900. 90% of the population was prepared to grow their own food. Today, less than 10%. That is a recipe for disaster. You know why? Because it's about to happen. Where there's no more food in the store. And you're going to be like, what? Food comes from dirt? I had no idea. That food came from the dirt. The last granny woman of our family, my mama, served as a wealth of knowledge for most everything we encountered in our West Virginia community in the springtime. Folks from all over the holler would seek her advice regarding when to plant their gardens. She was a firm believer in planting by the signs. Sign, sign, everywhere a sign. Rocking on the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can't you suck my sign? Almost 200,000 never before seen viruses were just discovered under your asses. Hidden in our oceans. Ew! I stopped swimming there long ago. Heads up, Laird. Hamilton. Infants should be exposed to electronic screens. No, they shouldn't! Oh, okay. It said they shouldn't be. New guideline says, hey, if this is your kid and he has a tablet, you're not a parent. You're a loser. My God. That shit is toxic. Duckweed is not. It's food. The food of the future. If you just dig a pond in your yard, guess what comes? Duckweed. It's free. It may be the food of the future. Grown under ideal conditions, duckweed ranges between 25 and 45% protein and doubles its growth every 36 hours. And tilapia love to eat it. Have you ever heard of it? It's amazing. There are other type of microorganisms that are growing on the surface of your pond that are edible. Don't you think you should know about it? I think you should. I'm just going to tippy touch on it. Maybe we'll delve into it in a video. Duckweed is human food, the influencer of meal context and information of duckweed, acceptability of Dutch consumers. Damn, this shit's new, January 2019. Holy macaroni. Consumers were generally positive towards duckweed as human food. Duckweed was considered a vegetable and seen as fitting in meals when consumers expected a vegetable. Well, that sounds like a vegetable to me. The facts are in. Are you kidding me? That's like a paper? Oh my God, that's almost a schmaper. It's like barely information. It's like a half of an arrow. Dig in Texas? Check this out. Before we get any further, let me give you some context. One of the most extensive Clovis sites in the world is in Galt Archaeological Site in central Texas. This was a pay-to-dig site for decades, first uncovered in the 1920s. But it has some of the most extensive Clovis material ever. Now, what they found at this site were beads, small beads from a necklace, and on the beads were engravings. This is advanced technology from a society that lived over 13,000 years ago in North America, and it is estimated that over 30 to 50 million people were living here at one time that all disappeared 12,900 years ago. This advanced culture was harvesting mammoths for tens of millions of people, surviving and thriving in the antediluvian epoch. This is a global community with all of the same astrotheological knowledge and mathematics used to create the pyramids, the megaliths in Machu Picchu in South America, as well as the mound builders. This is a interrelated culture. The Solutrean and the Clovis were a worldwide traveling culture that mapped the world in great detail. And if you don't know about the site in Texas, the Galt Archaeological Site, you do now. Give them a thumbs up, Texas Film Studio, subscribe now, and tell them Diamond sent you. And learn a little bit about people.
I went to an archaeology fair.
Look at this. These people lived over 13,000 years ago. Millions, tens of millions in North America. And they were making some advanced tools.
Mainly,
they were mass processing mammoths in the San Luis Valley, just east of here. Look at these square blades and these choppers and adzes. These are estimated to be 14,000 years old. Please check out the link if you want to gain some knowledge. Like, we're here for information, right? That's why we came here to the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, to be informed, not indoctrinated. Let's talk about the ecological succession as a model for improving the soil. Now, we're talking about permaculture principles right here. This is the forest margin. So where you ever look out of your car when you're driving down the highway because your ass can't take you out of the car and walk through the woods, there's a place where the woods end and the field begins. And this is the forest margin. And this is where all permaculture begins. Proper prior preparation prevents piss-poor performance when you're trying to start a farm or a sustainable orchard or garden. Now, the forest margin is where the fungi-dominated soil is. Between the upper growth, the middle growth, the shrub, perennial, and annual weeds into the field. That interface, the margin, is where it all begins. And if you want to know about farming, I'm going to leave you the definitive guide to building deep, rich soils by imitating nature. And that means mulching. Many of you people, when I showed you the spring planting in the raised bed that I did the other day, were wondering why I put straw or hay down. You should be continuously mulching your garden through the chop and drop method forever. Everything you pick, every weed you pull stays right there. You pull it out, you lay it down. You cut it up, you chop it up. You turn it in. This builds soils. Tilling is a thing of the past. Tilling kills the soil profile. You want to maintain the soil profile so that the fungi and the mycelium can continue to talk. If you till, you don't want to till more than 2 or 3 centimeters to plant seeds. That's it. That's how Ruth Stout method works. You see, because as the soil that you build through mulching grows, the mycorrhiza grows, the information in the subsurface grows, and the pop-ups continue. The biodiversity drives the system. If you grow soil first, the food is free above. Farmers do not grow food. True farmers grow soil. The food is a benefit of their soil growth. So build soils, learn how to build them by mimicking nature. The definitive guide to building deep, rich soils by imitating nature, I'm going to leave you below. And we can also talk about no-dig gardening, Ruth Stout method, and others. Once you start building these soils, you do not want to disturb the mycorrhiza and the biome that you've created. How did we get in the habit of digging our gardens in the first place? It's a waste of energy, and you're killing the biome. It's just an old tradition, which is nonsense, and there's no need for doing it. No need. You get equal or better yields without digging. Greenhouse in the snow. We're talking earth tubes. We're going to be installing them here and walking you through it all summer, including the spring. We just begun. And you can buy the PDF here for like $10 and get your own information on how they grow citrus in Nebraska. Meyer lemons, Rangpur limes, blackberries, birds of paradise, hibiscus, and more. I have the PDF. You can come look at it if you stop by. Unless you're Greg Wynn. Guys, if you want a cheap way to build a greenhouse, just hire your neighbor to dig a hole. If he digs a hole 20 feet by 10 feet, 5 feet deep, you got a wallapini. And I'm going to leave you with a PDF that usually costs 10 or 20 bucks. But you can get it free right here from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I'm going to leave it below. Wallapini Construction, the underground greenhouse. We're going to be building one of these this summer as well, and with earth bags or Adobe, and you can follow us along our process. Take a look at the food underground. This is the revised version 2002 from Benson Agricultural Food Institute with the table of contents to walk yourself through building your own wallapini. For under 300 bucks, you could be making food for your family to survive and thrive in the coming times. This is a sealed environment where you can grow in a contained greenhouse environment food to allow you to sustain life in trying times. The wallapini is the way to go if you're in a limited budget, but you still got to pay to dig the hole, unless you're ready to shovel this out for years or months. PDF will be below. And I implore you to start planting seeds. It's spring, kids. Come to the Oppenheimer Ranch Preparedness store below. Scroll all the way down. Come down here to survival seeds and seed banks. If you are in a limited budget, there is an amazing package in here for just a couple bucks, and I'm going to show it to you. We have bricks, refractometers in the first page, herbs, grow rooms, mushroom logs, everything. But come check out this $14 heirloom vegetable packet. If you're in a limited budget, 16,500 non-GMO heirloom vegetable seeds, 40 variety packs. This is 40 ways to fail for 13 bucks. It's like 25 cents of failure. It's amazing. There's little clippers to trim your weed and everything else. A little pure pollination book. I don't know what you're waiting for. A little bit of rain, a little bit of time, and it's boom time. Look at that. It's amazing. Food is free when you grow it. It also is a hedge on the future. It allows you to have peace of mind that you know how to grow food in abundance. Share it with your neighbors. Share it with Ernie and Bert. They know what they're doing. I mean, I love those guys. You should too. The reason you're here is for information. Information for the situation that we're living. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Now, before we leave tonight, the creepy stalker Greg Wynn is still on YouTube.
That I endeavor to cease to exist. And, I'm not going to stop until you're fucking dangling from a piano wire, David Moriello.
So for those of you who don't know, my name is David Moriello. And that creepy stalker has a protection order against him for me and Leah. And he's violating that. This video came out today. And according to the mandatory protection order pursuant to California Code 18-1-1001 CRS, shall refrain from contacting directly or indirectly communicating with the victims or witnesses of the crime. Now, this prick came here to our property and he assaulted me. Second-degree assault, which is a felony, punishable by up to 10 years or more, because there's also multiple other threats to Leah, kidnapping her, stalking us, and now he's threatening my life today live under a protection order. Just watch it.
Cease to exist. And, I'm not gonna stop until you're fucking dangling from a piano wire, David Mariello.
Clearly a threat on my life. This guy is a threat to the entire community of truthers. He's a threat to you. He's threatened Rex Bear, Heidi Vandenberg, Wayne Steiger, and dozens of other people. And he's threatened to shut down Lecon. We've had to spend extra money on security. And the FBI has looked into him, but they say they cannot charge him because there's not enough evidence. He just threatened to hang me by a piano wire. I implore you to contact the appropriate authorities. This creep, Greg Allen Wynn, lives in Willow, Oklahoma. Do your own research. Be safe. We love you. Without you sharing this video, without you listening to this information, we cannot grow, and you certainly will not be safe. We love each and every one of you. This man is a threat to all of us. Deal with him accordingly, within reason.